Let's listen, guys. Let's listen to it.
Five businesses that you should never do, even if they paid you. Never. I learned this when I operated a business. I did a loan business for a very long time, and this business did so well, and at a point everything came crashing. These are the lessons I learned from doing that business. And then lesson number one is this: always control your capital. Always control your capital. Every business that you are going to do should never put your capital at risk. Every business should only risk your profits and never your capital. That is why real estate is considered as one of the best investments out there, because when you rent real estate to people, even if they don't pay you and you kick them out, it is your profit that you lose. You don't lose your capital. What I did was that I gave out loans to people. They were supposed to pay my principal plus the profit. Most of the time they didn't pay the profit and they didn't pay the principal. Any business that you want to do, the question you should always ask yourself is that this investment or this business I'm going to do, will it ensure that my capital is still around in 60 years, in 50 years, when I'm 60, when I'm 70? Every capital that you have right now, you should actually look at it as money that is going to be in your life when you are 60 years, when you are 70 years old. And if you have this understanding, you can invest in even other people's businesses. Is the business such that your capital is protected? Does the business have real assets? Because the only assets my business had was the loans we were giving to people. The loans themselves were the assets, and once we lost money on the loans, we lost assets of the business. So does the business have assets such that it is its profit that it loses? The second mistake that you can make as a businessman is if you fail to make this observation: businesses where people pay before they receive the service will always outlive businesses where people receive the service before they pay. I don't want to impose my opinion on you. Put this to test. Observe this. Most businesses where people pay before they receive the service. In fact, it is the way you are able to keep your business. When people pay you money before you offer the service, if you are an ethical, honest businessman, it should be easy for you to grow your business from there. But businesses where you offer the service and then wait for payments, if you are not a big business that has structures to be able to control this, you are very easily going to lose. Third mistake that I made, that every business should avoid, and this, I like this concept. This concept is a concept that I like. I'm always against debt, any form of debt. If you are going to take any form of debt, avoid taking any form. But if you have to, because I know people, I have friends who operate on debt and it works out fine. I personally am against debt because of the situation I had. But if you have to take on debt, make sure that you are outside of debt, not inside of debt. Outside, not inside. Inside of debt means that you have, let's say, $2 and you have gone to borrow $3 to add to your business. It means that the money you have actually borrowed is more than the money that actually belongs to yourself. Being outside of debt is to have $3 and borrow $2. That means the debt is inside you. You are outside of the debt. Okay, you are not inside of the debt. The point is to be outside of the debt, so that if you have a problem, you can always find yourself, because it is money you have actually ever made. You are used to, you know how to make that money, you can make it again. But if you are inside debt, like what happened to me, I was operating my business, it was doing so well, and I went around and borrowed money, took money from everyone, and people were happy because I had a good reputation. They were happy to give me their money, and I actually took on more money than I actually had. So when that happens to you, when you lose your business, you're actually grieving the fact that you have lost your business, and now you have to pay money to other people, more than money. The amount of money you have to pay to the people will be more than the money you have actually ever made in your life. That means that the first time you make that money, it doesn't even belong to you. You have to give to other people, because you have never made that money in your life, and you don't want to be in this situation where you have to pay people money you have never made. You want to always be, you have $3, you have been able to make $3, then you borrow $2. You actually know how to make $3, so that when you lose their $2, even if you lose everything, you can make it again. It's easy for you. Done. The fourth mistake that you should never make as an entrepreneur, and you know this already because I've made a video about it, is always try to respond to a demand. Don't try to create a demand. Try to respond to something that people want already. Then you come and you say, this is the solution, this is my offer. Don't try to create, and that's what I did. I didn't give out loans because people actually wanted loans. and they were asking for it. I gave out loans because I wanted to grow. I had my money and I wanted to grow my money. So I approached people and said, do you want a loan? Do you want? So I had situations where somebody came to take a loan. A friend of theirs escorted them to come take the loan, and they ended up taking a loan themselves. I was giving to basically everyone, okay? With no, because I was taking passports, it wasn't even solid. So I was doing it basically for me. Yes, a business should also be for you, but it has to be something that others also need as well. So this I won't, because I already have a video about this, so I won't explain this a lot. Fifth criteria that your business has to absolutely respect is that your business should have a lot of cash flow. There's a big difference between cash flow and profit. And the mistake a lot of people have is that you have a business that makes profits. It makes profit, all right, but it doesn't have cash flow. Profits is what I give money to people. If you buy something cheaper and you give to someone more expensive, even if the person hasn't paid you yet, it is sort of a profit that you have made, because the person is supposed to pay you more. So you have profit, but cash flow is the moment where they give you the money. So you have to have a business where the money comes inside the business. It shouldn't only be about profit, because you can be a profitable business that is bankrupt. And when my business was falling, I was making so much profit. I was making so much incredible amounts of profit because I had given out more loans. But in actual fact, I didn't have money to operate. You are bankrupt. You don't have money to operate, but you have profit. And then you have to now find a new business going around looking for your money. So it is always important to do a business that is cash flow friendly, not profit. It's not all about profit. Cash flow sometimes is even more important than profit, quite honestly, except that yes, every business should make profit basically. Now, I said that I was going to tell you why I said a lot of the businesses that we call business are not businesses. Most of the businesses that most people, and you can look at posts that I made, that most people call businesses are not really businesses. They are just jobs people have created for themselves. Jobs people have created for themselves, and they call a business. The aim of a business should be that a business should grow. Otherwise, you should just get a job. If all your business can do is to get you money to be able to feed you, and for the next 5-10 years the business stays the same and you are only able to feed yourself, it's respectable. It is better than a job. I agree. Always better than a job. Always better than a job, because then you are your own boss. You are doing things on your own. You are feeding yourself. You don't have to count, and you can't get fired anytime. So it is always better than a job. But the aim of every business is that the business should actually grow. At the end of every month, maybe a month is too much. Let's say at the end of every year, the business should be actually worth more than it was last year. So if maybe you were doing a cocoa joint, at the end of the next year, the business should actually have money in the bank. That is as a result of the business's operation for the entire year. Or you should have 2 cocoa joints. At least you know that the business is growing on its own. It is not just that you work, you have a business where you operate to feed yourself. You repeat the same thing, feed yourself, the next day you might as well get a job. So it's the same thing. So most of the businesses, they are not scalable business. They are not businesses that you can actually grow. They are not businesses. You can't grow them. My name is Adnan Sani. I call myself Dangote.
Follow this page, comment and share this